sportsman and also an author who has written a book in which he talks about how athletes can get scholarships and how they can become better sportsmen. So we'll be talking about this particular issue, and our aspiring athletes will definitely benefit from this. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So Frank, a little bit about yourself. Tell us where do you belong to and when did you come to Canada and which sports you have been playing?
I came to Canada a couple of years ago in 1992, and I secured an athletic scholarship on basketball to come to Canada. And the challenges and setbacks that I faced inspired me to start working with upcoming athletes to show them how they can also secure sports scholarships.
Right. And since how many years you have been playing basketball?
It's been a while. It's been about 16 years.
Okay.
I played college basketball. Started from Africa in Nigeria, where I grew up. Started playing while I was 19 years old.
Right.
I got a scholarship to Brown University in Manitoba, and I played at Douglas College in British Columbia.
Right.
Before I secured another scholarship to the U.S. At Seminole State College in Oklahoma. And after that, I decided to go pro in Germany and in Taiwan.
Okay. So you have played any international teams, with international teams or anything?
Yes, I played in Taiwan, like I said, and in Germany. And these were professional leagues in Europe.
Okay.
They pay you to play basketball. And that's where I decided to start to teach young upcoming athletes what they need to do in order for them to succeed.
And why did you think to write a book, basically? In this book, The Power to Succeed in Sports, Fitness and Life, you're emphasizing upon a lot of things like how to secure an athletic scholarship, and then how to sign up sports contracts, and also how to become an agent and achieve a sports dreams.
Yes.
So basically, what prompted you to write this book?
What prompted me was the fact that coming from Africa, and there's a lot of talents over there and who are trying to achieve their goals. And one of the reasons why I wrote this book was the obstacles and the setbacks that I faced through the journey to achieving my goals, to getting to where I am today.
Okay.
And I wanted to become a role model for athletes who are going through specific obstacles in their sports. For example, not being able to, even though they have talent, but not being able to secure sports scholarship, not being able to be seen by recruiters and those who can offer the scholarship. And also, after college, what do they do after? Playing professionally, and also how to understand the rules and regulations of competitive sports.
Right.
So all of these inspired me to write this book, because I was knowledgeable about these rules and regulations, and I didn't understand what college eligibilities are and what the different type of conferences in both the U.S. and Canada.
Right.
So I wanted these upcoming athletes to understand this, because that's what prevented me from getting to the highest level in my sport, which is basketball.
Okay. So let's talk in details, because we won't be having too much time to talk specifically on each of the topics, but let's start off with when we talk about athletic scholarship, what should be kept in mind by the aspiring athletes when they are looking for some scholarships to pursue the dream they have?
One of the things that they should keep in mind is to start the recruiting process early. If they're interested in sports scholarships, they have to start to meet the requirements. There are different types of requirements. The first requirement is your academic requirements. That means if you want to play sports in the U.S., you need to take the SAT test, make sure you finish high school, right? And make sure you meet all the academic requirements of the school that you intend to attend.
Right.
And you also have to meet the athletic requirements. That means you have to be good, you have to practice every day, you have to go through the learning process of your sports, which means joining a sports academy, so that they can teach you the fundamentals and the technicalities of your sports. Now, once you meet all these requirements, then you're ready to send this profile to a recruiter who will be interested in recruiting you, because there's so many competitions.
Right. So in our community, basically, if we see most of our viewers are South Asians, and let's talk a little bit in this particular field. We find soccer, a lot of our children go, and ice hockey also lots of children go.
Right.
Basketball, yes, it's still the school level, but hardly anyone wants to pursue it as a career or something. So on these two fronts, especially the soccer and the ice hockey, what would be your recommendations for the parents and to the students also who want to pursue this as a career?
There are over 21 sports in the U.S. I speak from a basketball point of view because I played basketball.
Right.
But the principles in my book, the power to succeed in sports, fitness, and life, can be used in all sports. Pursuing a scholarship, it's basically similar.
Right.
Whether you're playing soccer, you're playing basketball, you're playing hockey, or wherever community you are, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're good, as long as you have the skills and talent, you have the opportunity to secure an early scholarship either in the U.S. or even in Canada.
Right. Okay, and when we talk about signing up the contracts, when you're at that level, when the time comes to sign up the contracts, what should be kept in mind?
One of the things you should keep in mind is trying to have a business mentality.
Okay.
Also, be sure that you already complete your college eligibility, because as soon as you become a professional, you've basically lost your eligibility of securing a scholarship to go to school.
Okay.
I have a background in sports agent. I'm a sports agent advisor, so I also advise athletes who are looking at securing or rather signing a sports contract. And they should never give up on their dream, because signing a contract is not an easy task. It takes work. It's like looking for a job.
Right.
So you have to be able to market yourself. You have to be able to market your athletic ability, especially when there's a lot of competition. Now, there are other athletes, high-profile athletes, who were seen playing in college who are listed into a draft. For those athletes, they usually have to pick which agent should represent them. So you have different categories of athletes and playing a different level of competition.
Right, and many who would like to become an agent for a player. So is there a special process which you have to follow, or what is it like?
For those who are not the high-profile athletes, of course, it's like, again, looking for a job. They have to work towards achieving their goals.
Right.
Now, for those who are in college, who are high-profile athletes, they have to expose their skills and talent and be able to be able to talk to agents. Now, one of the things that they must do in order not to break the rules or regulations is that the agent has to go through the coach, especially in the U.S. They have to go through a compliance officer.
Right.
And what that usually means is that if they know that they're going to leave college and get drafted, they have to go through a compliance officer and sign an agreement with the agent and get listed into a draft.
Games are becoming expensive, and especially when it comes when the child is going at the upper level. Parents, many a times, they do their best, but still it is very expensive and they find it difficult.
Right.
And then government also doesn't come initially at that kind of time to support.
Right.
And the sports organizations also, you have to be at the top. But
Right.
what about the mediocre players who want to pursue this as a career, but because of financial constraints, they are not able to come forward? What should they do?
Well, I came from a background where my parents were very rich. But again, there are certain things that you have to do. First of all, you have to prepare your mind mentally.
Right.
There are a lot of athletes whose parents were not rich either. In order for you to be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve in life, first you have the passion. You have to have that. And most of the athletes that I've helped and who constantly contact me, some of them complain about their financial background, that they don't have the finances to be able to hire a recruiting service,
Right.
Which is very important. Now, for those athletes who don't have the finances in order for them to pursue their goal, as a scout for Athlete USA, they can basically do it themselves. They can contact recruiters themselves. They can write letters. They can prepare their own player's profile and send emails to these recruiters. And there are a lot of information, where you can get the names and contact of these recruiters who might be interested in offering them a scholarship.
Let's talk a little bit about the diet, especially for the players. What kind of diets do you recommend? Basically, as you have been a player yourself and now you are an agent also.
Right.
So many times what we find is that today in the market, there's a fad about the diets which the player should take.
Right.
But generally, what should a player take so that he can maintain a good health and a good mind also?
Well, just being in sports alone and actively, participating in sports and then burning a lot of calories, it helps, when you're actively involved.
Right.
Now, the diet that you have to take in order for you to perform well in sports, that is something that one has to talk to a nutritionist or a doctor about. I don't really have the aspirants to recommend that. But what I do know, when I was playing and when I was very active in my sports, they have sort of energy drinks. That can revive you,
boost you,
and help you in getting the energy you need.
Right. Again, as far as the players are concerned, you talked about that mentally you have to be ready, because there are going to be many times when what you want to achieve may not you find it because of the constraints, or maybe you don't know. So at that time, what would be your suggestion to those candidates and to those sportsmen who are not being able to reach that level where they want to reach?
What usually happens for me, it's never to give up, because, like I said, there's not an easy road.
Right.
You have to continuously affirm your goal. Write your goals down, where you want to be. If you are inspired to become a professional athlete, or you just want to get a scholarship to pursue an education. Now, you have to always mentally prepare yourself by not giving up, by always be patient, by listening to your mentors, like having a coach who's always working with you, and always providing you with the tools that you need to become a better athlete.
Right.
And it works in all angles.
Right. Frank, you also mentioned in your book about the 3 Ds. Just explain that. What are these 3 Ds and why they have an important place in the development of a player?
Oh, absolutely. The 3 Ds, it's a concept that I created because I felt that without the 3 Ds, and I'm going to tell you what they are shortly, you cannot really achieve whatever you want to achieve. Now, the 3 Ds, I call it the 3 Ds formula to success. It's called determination, desire, and discipline. And in order for you to be successful in sports or anything in life, you need these 3 Ds. You need to have determination, you need to have discipline, and you need to have a desire.
Right.
And without these 3, it's difficult to be able to achieve success.
Right. One last question. We are finding more and more in sports the use of drugs. This is coming quite to an extent whereby this is giving a bad name to the sportsmen also.
Absolutely.
Just a few people do it, but the entire community is tarnished in that. So what would be your recommendation to the aspiring candidates, aspiring sportsmen who are coming forward, but many times just to be in the race and to be above somebody else? They say, how does it make a difference if we take drugs and we win?
Well, I wrote in my book that one of the things to become a successful person and a successful athlete is to completely stay away from drugs and alcohol. I gave examples of athletes who have destroyed their career by involving or getting involved in drugs and alcohol. Not only those drugs get you into trouble, but drug destroys the faculties or the things that you need to be able to get to where you want to be in your sport. Apart from getting in trouble with the law, it's not a good thing to get involved in drugs because it can destroy your career.
Right. Coming back to the book, how long did it take you to write this book, and towards then, what would you like to tell to our viewers?
It took me a couple of years. This is the 3rd edition of the book. The first book, original book, was written in 1997 when I was playing basketball in Europe. And to do this revised edition took me about 4 months to have it completed. I want to say to the viewers that if they want other copies of my book, they can go to my website at frankurefe.com or sportdream.com. Copies can be ordered from our website, and I can also give out free copies at the same time. If they have what it takes, I can give free copies to those organizations.
Thank you very much for being with us, and best wishes for your endeavor, and we hope that whatever you want to do, you achieve that, and also especially for our aspiring sports persons, you can talk to Frank also and take his experience and benefit from that. Thank you for watching this program.
Thank you for having me.